Hey everybody, this is Peter with Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to be taking a look at a role-playing game product from Longtail Games. Previously, a while back, they sent us a PDF copy of their Tiny Library #1, and now they have sent me the physical version of Tiny Library 1. So it's going to be the same product, but the PDF version versus the physical version, that's pretty much the difference here. But I'm going to go through some of the cards in this box and talk to you about a few of them, let you know about what I think about the product, and hopefully it will help you decide if this is something that you might want to pick up for yourself. I will say the physical copy does cost a little bit more money, but you can get the PDF copy and it's going to have the exact same cards and ideas in it. So without further ado, let's go down to the table and we'll shuffle through some of these cards, read them, and see what we think about them. All right, everybody. So we are here down at the table with Tiny Library #1. You can see just exactly how tiny it is as you see my fingers. Very, very tiny. Let's go ahead and flip it over to the back. Tiny Library is a deck of 51 different single card RPGs from dozens of different creators, a delightful treasure trove, Suzanne from the Dice Tower. All right, so this is by Longtail, and we have, like I said earlier, done a video previously showcasing these cards through the PDF version, but they did send us the physical cards as well. So we'll go ahead and open up those and take a look at them together. All right, so inside the box, it looks like we've got two sets of wrapped up cards. And then we also have this little insert that just says Tiny Library 1, and then it has the names of each card and the person who wrote them, and then also the itch.io page, or itch.io, however you want to say that, the page that you can go to find them as well. That's good. Let's see if we can get these open. Sometimes I have a little trouble with them, but nope, there we go. I do appreciate that they wrapped these with those easy tear-offs. All right, so that's one. Of course, I say they're easy, and then I have trouble opening one. There we go. All right, so again, just a single card in here. Tiny library, shuffle the cards, take one at random, let yourself be surprised. Long tail. So we've got the Longtail Games page here as well in case you want to check them out. And again, we did take a look at quite a few of these cards in the PDF version, so I'm going to probably just quickly show you a few of these. And I can already tell here with just this very first one that I'm going to have a little bit of the same issue that I had with those PDF ones, which is the fact that not all of these are crisp and clear in text. Some of these have a little bit of blurriness to the text, which I wish that they had maybe cleaned that up a little bit better so that each one was a little bit more legible. Again, I can read this just fine. It's just a little bit of a thing for me, that the fact that it's blurry. But everything is on there on the front and the back. So let's go ahead and take a look, since this was the first one that we landed on. The Curse. Your success is short-lived, at terrible cost, fool's gold, all part of their plan. The Blessing. Your failure is short-lived, a way forward, enlightening, all part of your plan. So this is very, very basic. There's not a whole lot here. So I just get the card, I take a look at it, I see apparently one side is a curse, one side is a blessing, and then a little thing here in the bottom. So it just says your success is and your failure is. So here, the blessing is that your failure is, it's very short-lived, which is fine. You find a way forward. It's enlightening, and it's all part of your plan. So I don't know if I would. It's just so basic, right? There's just not, to me, there's not enough there on that card. It doesn't. I don't know that I would be able to immediately add this one into my game. All right, that's one. Let's check another one out here. Okay, now this one, it's a lot more full. There's a lot more happening here. Let's check it out. Let's read it. I am somewhat excited to see what this one says. I don't remember looking at this one specifically in the PDF version video, so this will be different. Wallet Dungeons. Create the dungeon by rolling a handful of d6s and a symbol based on results. Okay, so 1 is a dead end, can't touch more than 1 die. 2 is a passage, can't touch more than 2 dice. 3 is split, can't touch more than 3 dice. 4 is crossroads, can touch up to 4 dice. 5 is a tower, stack all, must touch at least 2 dice. And then 6 is a hall, merge all, can touch up to 4 dice. For each die, add its value to all neighboring dice to determine its room. Halls and towers are single rooms with all their dice summed. Okay, very interesting. So if you've got, it says each die add its value to its neighboring dice to determine its room. So the dice as they touch are going to end up equaling these numbers and possibly then become one of these spaces. Place an entrance where it makes sense. And then for extra detail, modify each room based on highest or lowest neighboring die. So this is just a very interesting way to roll some dice and use the results to make a dungeon, but it is well laid out. So they even give you an example here of some of the dice and how they should be touching each other, some extra information for more detail. And then there's even a way for rolling an encounter in each of the rooms, just rolling a single d6 and what you might find there. That right there, to me, is very, very useful. It might take me a little while to decipher it and figure it out, but if I'm sitting around just wanting to create a quick dungeon, this would be a fun possible way of doing it. So, pretty interesting. I like this. This, to me, again, this, not enough information. This, tons of information, and we had the same size card. So you're going to get a varying level of what I think is usability, right? When it comes to these, but that's something that you get with a smaller product from a smaller company like this. The idea was that it was very much like, hey, let's just get a whole bunch of people together and see what they can come up with. The idea of fit it onto a small card front and back, right? So this one, I would end up probably, like, do I even keep this inside the deck? Probably not. Probably just toss this. This one, super useful, could be fun. Even if I don't end up using it, could just be a fun exercise. Since I am a game master, I enjoy just playing around with things like this. So I like this one a lot. This one will definitely find use for, again, if not in my game, just for me having fun. All right, let's randomly draw one. So those were just the top 2 off of this one stack. Let's randomly draw one out here and let's see what it is. Tiniest wizard. Draw a wizard in the space above. This is you. You're tiny and cute. It's okay to be cute. You do magic. Stick this card into a dictionary or book and write down the word either above or below this card on your spell list. Do this twice. Spells. Looks like I got 2 stars here, or 4 stars total. Make a star to use a spell. Erase the marks when you rest. Why did you become a wizard? Just 1 to 3 words. So we're creating a character. We're creating a wizard. We have an interesting way of coming up with the names of some spells that we have. Recklessly fling the card. Where it lands is where you start. You are tiny. Navigating across a room is a journey. As you journey, look at what would be obstacles for your tiny wizard self. Thick carpet could be a jungle, a fan could be a hurricane, pets could be behemoths. Imagine, find, or draw more obstacles on your or another's journey. Big bugs, tiny dragons, room guardians, traps, puzzles, etc. You're going on one of the following adventures. Get the artifact. Pick up something small and mundane. Explain its magic and significance. Hide it. Then journey to find it. Face the monster. A huge monster, maybe even the size of a mouse, is terrorizing the region. Imagine, find, or draw the monster and give it a lair. Journey to confront it. And then find someone special. Make and fling a second tiniest wizard, alone or with someone special. Journey to come together. All right, so this is what I would consider between this card here for the curse and the blessing, and wallet dungeons, right? So this card here, I would find useful, but not as engaging as wallet dungeons. Wallet dungeons I find useful and engaging. Not very useful personally for me. And in the middle, moderately useful, could be kind of fun. We'll see. So that is an example of some of the cards that came in that first set. We'll go ahead and grab the next one here. So we're drawing one more here out of this second deck. We're going to do this one at random. All right. So, all right, here we go. We've got Flyers by Steve D. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Okay, interesting. So, possible game here. And again, that's one of the things that, let's just say it real quick, another little beef that I have here. The back of this deck, or the box, says 51 different single card RPGs. 51 different single card RPGs. That makes me think that on every single one of these cards is a game to play. Some sort, even if it's just maybe meant for me by myself to give me some ideas, or if it's for a whole bunch of people to play, that's fine. But I don't know that this card lives up to that. It says game to play, an RPG. This isn't an RPG in and of itself. It might make you have some ideas for putting into a game, but this one in and of itself is not a game to play. You can maybe consider creating some wizards a game, but this one even does have ideas for some adventures to go on. The wallet dungeon, creating your own dungeon, can be seen, I think, as a game in and of itself, and it's useful for your game. And let's check out Flyers and see if it lives up to the name. So Flyers, grab a bunch of real business cards or swap yours around the table. Add up the first digits you find until you get a sum above 15. That's your age. Add up all other digits. That's how many missions you have flown. Use the color, shape, and elements on the card to learn more about your character. Introduce yourself. Talk about the war. Talk about how you all became friends. And talk about why you joined up as pilots. So that's Act 1. Okay, I like that. We're getting a little role-playing thrown in there. We have a little bit of a game as we're playing around with some business cards. Act 2. Now you all set out on your last bombing raid. All right, okay, so this is cool. I like this. We're going to go on a bombing raid. Put the card on the table in front of you and your finger on the card. Close your eyes and flick. If the card goes off the opposite edge of the table and doesn't hit anything else but the ground, you come back alive. All right, so we are already living up. I mean, I cannot get this thing to focus right now. This card's already living up a little bit more to the idea. It absolutely lives up to the idea of this box set in that this is a game. We're working in acts. We have something to do for Act 1, something to do for Act 2. Here, we're actually playing a dexterity game. And then in Act 3, meet up again in 20 years. Use the business on the card to describe what you did after the war. Talk about the years after. And if your flyer died, play a friend or family member and talk about who didn't make it. All right, this even says, if the card has no digits, convert letters to numbers. Okay, nice. 10stargames.com. All right, so that right there, that is a game. That's a game. This is kind of a game. Not exactly a game. So, as you possibly pick up Tiny Library number 1, and again, I think I said this in the PDF video as well about this, is not every card in the deck actually lives up, I don't think, to the full idea that the creator stated here on the back of the box. Not all of these end up being not overly useful for me specifically, but some of them I don't think live up to what it says about it being an RPG or a single card RPG. It's got to be some sort of game, not just a vague idea. And some of these do end up being just vague ideas. You might find them useful. Hopefully you do, especially if you go ahead and pick up Tiny Library 1, but it's even tougher if you get it and it's not even useful, at least for me. So that might be a little harsh, but it's also, I hope, honest. It's honest, at least from my point of view. Now, some of these are really cool. Is it worth the money? I think it's still worth the money because you're getting 51 things in here. And even if you get, I think, a handful or more that spark your interest and you can play them with either yourself or with a few people, the cost of this to me is worth it. So even with the harsh criticism, and I'm being honest, I think it's a harsh criticism. I want to be honest with everybody. Even the fact that we just looked at 4, and out of the 4, I think I could use all of these in one way or another, except for this one, then I feel like that ratio is saying that this is going to be worth the cost. I just wish that I could say 100% useful, but I don't think I can. So I am excited by just the ideas that these 3 cards show me. And I think that just those 3 cards already show me that Tiny Library 1 is worth the cost of the deck. So those are my final thoughts on Tiny Library 1. I, again, am grateful for Longtail for sending us the PDF, and not just the PDF, the physical version of Tiny Library 1. They did also send me a copy of the physical version of Tiny Library 2, so I will be releasing a video as well showcasing the physical version of that. And we will talk about that when that video comes out. But until then, everybody, thank you for watching. I hope you find this video to be useful. And again, I hope everybody understands that I'm just wanting to give honest reviews about things. I do think that this is going to be useful for you if you decide to pick it up. There's going to be plenty in there for you to gain from it. So everybody, thank you for watching. And if you like the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And until we talk again, keep on playing games.